Hey guys, welcome back for another video. In this one, I'm making a diorama about Don Quixote fighting a windmill. Without further ado, let's get to it. So I split this project into 3 parts. The actual windmill, our beloved Don Quixote, and base along with the rest of the filler objects and accessories. I'm using a piece of cardboard to make a conic cylinder and enchanted it with my blood. Safety first, really. Seeing the height is too much, I split this in 2. And connected ends with hot glue gun. I'm drawing the outlines for a door and a window. Now the bricklaying begins. This took me about 3 hours with occasional breaks to lay all these bricks. It's usually not as insane as it looks. I'm using the leftover cardboard to make a conic roof. Utilizing the screen box to create an extension on the roof and make shingles. I drilled a hole about 6 mm wide to fit this dowel here, so the straw I'll use as the shaft of the propeller can spin.
One eternity later.
Cutting these is one thing, gluing them is really another. Anyway, so the mill part is done. Now it's time for the wind part. I'm using sticks to make 4 blades of the propeller, I guess. I mixed Vallejo black and old wood for its paint. Regular wash treatment, and I dry brush the wooden parts off the camera. So I planned to cover these with sticks, then I decided to make it look like they are covered with cloth or a woven material. So I decided on using baby wipes. Just one tip, paint the wipes before you cut them, makes it so much easier. I learned it the hard way. Using regular craft paint to paint them, white with a tiny bit of a light yellow. Looking at it now, I think beige would look better though. Used steering sticks to make the door, window frame and the shades. black to anthracite gray, then giving it shades of gray from darker to lighter. At this point I was done with the painting, but then I kinda wanted to play around with weathering powders and ended up covering the entire thing with it. You can see the difference clearly comparing the back with the front sides. So I wasn't sure how I felt about it and decided to give it a bit of a white highlight and get rid of some of the excess powder I couldn't remove before. Now it only needs some wind blowing. I'll start on the figure and the horse. Meet Don Quixote. I'm missing a lens from the sprue and will try to make one from the sprue plastic. Seeing the date on this make me feel old and weird at the same time. Vallejo's black primer, then oil steel for the figure, and the light grey for the horse. Can't say I'm satisfied with the horse's paint. I chose Vallejo's flat and yellow for his drape, or cloak, whichever really. Using Vallejo gold and bronze to differentiate pieces of his armor. I only have oil steel in my shelf, so these two fit great on metallic colors compared to the used dark color tones on the armor. I used the same two yellow tones for the cloth parts of the horse's straps to match the rider's outfit. Used Revell's weathering powders to show some dirt on its legs. I chose number 13 part of the sprue because it's my lucky number. Turns out I wasn't so lucky after all. Who knew the sprue plastic would bend and fly off from the Dremel? Well, I didn't. Tried it twice, then got back to making the lens from a toothpick. Once all is done, I prep this to be installed on the diorama base. So for the base, I'm cutting an MDF board of 20 to 30 cm size and cut some EPS foam to build everything on. I want this to be ascending upwards from the road to the mill, so I evened the surface and creating random textures with a rock. Gave it a base coat of black and using regular glue to apply the first coat of dirt on it. A friend suggested me to use active carbon for the road, and it turned out to be very good. If you don't know what it is, it's basically granule coal that's used for fish tank filtration and so on. Once I painted the road part with 2 tones of grey, I dry brushed it with a very light grey. Made 3 stones of the camera from wall plaster. And getting the base ready for the second layer of dirt and static grass. Here I noticed the gaps are too big for the scale. I decided to apply watered down glue and add more pebbles to cover up the gaps. While waiting for the surface to dry, I'm making the trees. I always try to use pieces of branches from actual plants and trees. In this case, I'm using the dead branches of the bonsai tree in my home and other branches I had at hand. I covered the branches with pre-made brown flock and using hairspray on them to apply 3 different flocks. Assuming this is the harvest time, I imagined it would be fitting to use some yellowish flock as well to represent early autumn. Again, steering sticks to make fences. I wanted these to look rather old and not maintained. Painted with Vallejo old wood, applied black and reddish brown washes and dry brushed with a very light grey to show aging and weathering of the wood. Drilled holes of the camera for the fences. Looking at it now, I could have added 2 open doors for more overall detail. I positioned the windmill tiny bit farther than I wanted it, so there's a huge gap on the side that I'll cover up later. I'm covering up my crime here with a leftover piece of one of the trees and some tufts I made before. Adding more details with some crates I made while waiting for the base to dry. Again, since I imagined this taking place in harvest season, I made these hay bales to add more detail to the scene. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was a project I thought it would take not more than a couple of days, but it took much longer than that. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did making it. If you did, please like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. And as usual, if you like my content, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, take care.